Welcome to GrainTV. I'm Kevin McNew, and on my right is your co-pilot for today's flight, Logan Burgess. Over the next 5 minutes, we're going to be navigating through the choppy turbulence that is the grain markets. Make sure your seatbelt is fastened because we expect it to be a bumpy ride as the bulls begin to exit the aircraft. Hey, this week started out with some grim news from the Congressional Super Committee. This super committee proved to be no match for the kryptonite that is partisan politics as they announced that they were unable to reach any budget deal, which promptly sent U.S. equity markets into a tailspin. Hey, remember, in the event of a water landing, your seat cushion may be used as a flotation device. But Logan, the news and the continued saga in Europe has more of a feeling of a headfirst plunge. Is there anything that this market can do to stop from crashing into the sea?
Well, I think we really missed a golden opportunity here with the super committee. We saw no action out of the super committee. Back in August, Fitch said that a failure by the super committee to reach an agreement would likely result in negative rating action. This really set the ground floor for another ratings downgrade of U.S. sovereign debt. The equities didn't handle that back well during the summer. The grains didn't either. I got to think it's going to be the same situation.
Exactly. The equity market sold off, as did the grain markets on Monday. We saw corn break down below that $6 psychological level. We did trade back at it in the overnight session, but this morning we're opening at $5.97. This looks like a market prime for selling, wouldn't you say, Logan?
Absolutely, Kevin. To use a hockey metaphor here, I think this corn market is set to be beat like a rented goalie. Take a look here at the December corn chart. For the first time, we're trading down below $6. We haven't been in that area since September or October. Last time, we saw a huge sell-off. We saw that act as a bit of buyers came into the market there, shorts were covered, and probably the biggest thing there was an injection of export sales into the market. For 3 consecutive weeks, we saw export sales of 1.2 million tons or more, and that really helped kick us back up there to the 650 level. I don't think that's going to be the case here moving forward, and the primary reason here is strength out of the U.S. dollar. Take a look here at the U.S. dollar index. During late September, early October, we were trading around the 77 level. It's a different story now. Europe is going to shambles. We're approaching that 79 level. It's going to be harder for foreign importers. $6 corn isn't quite what it was back then.
Exactly. And Ukraine took away some prime business in the Asian markets in the last few weeks. We saw their exports over a 2-week period total 1 million metric tons. That was the entire book of business they did for an entire 4-month period here lately. So we know that stronger dollar is hurting our exports. But Logan, let me throw one thing at your rented goalie. Let me take a slap shot and say that basis levels might actually be primed to help lift the futures market. We have such strong basis across the country. We got December corn futures coming off the board. I wouldn't be surprised to see December corn, as it's stopping to trade and going into delivery, actually pull the rest of the corn complex higher. I think there's some positives that will cause that market to move a little bit higher, but I think overall this is still a market that needs to be sold for producers.
If you're a producer, you're selling. You're not letting it ride.
I think so. I'm looking at rallies to either make catch-up sales or certainly enhance my price coverage, maybe even into the next year's crop.
I'm right there with you, Kevin. With that, we'll take a quick commercial here and see how the trade's doing this morning in Chicago.
Welcome back to GrainTV. Logan, the opening morning looks pretty calm here. What are we seeing on the board?
Yeah, Kevin, not really any fireworks here this morning. We're seeing corn trade unchanged, soybeans up 1, wheat up unchanged to 1. Really, no buying with conviction here this morning.
Exactly. When I look at the bean number, I remember a week and a half ago we were talking a lot about 1165 on January beans being major support. We talked about it probably breaking down below that. We've done so. Where do you think we go from here, Logan?
Yeah, absolutely, Kevin. We'll take a look here at the November bean chart. You can see that recently we have broke through that 1150 level. We haven't traded at this level since October of 2010. Let's zoom out here and take a look there. The area here circled in yellow, you can see. We really had a big gap up that you can see here, right in the very center of our of this circle here. That was 11 to 1121. Technicians look for that to get filled on the downside here. We saw a little bit of resistance at 1131. But I think that, that is going to provide some resistance for this market, but I think we're going to go through it. We really see, we saw in Friday's Commitment of Traders report that managed money is really banking against this bean market right now. The long to short ratio right now is 1.16, substantially lower than what we saw during September, where it was near 10. Not only are they taking longs off the board, but they're adding short positions onto it. So right now, I think that technically we're really looking to go lower here.
And fundamentally, I don't think it's shaping up well for the bulls in the bean market right now. Argentina, South America continues to be having favorable weather. We know their crop plantings are going to be large. Right now, no real shockers in terms of weather on the board. So I got to believe technicals, fundamentals are weighing against the bean market, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. If I'm a bean producer right now, I'm selling futures or I'm picking up a few puts right now. I'm protecting my bottom line.
Hey, thanks for joining us. Call us anytime, 877-GRAIN-07, or visit us online at grainhedge.com. Have a great Thanksgiving. We will see you on Friday, Black Friday.